how Joe Biden isn't respected at all around the world. Here's the Israeli prime minister openly contradicting Biden's soft on Iran policies live at a press conference yesterday.
Made it absolutely clear. We will not, let me say it again, we will not allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. I continue to believe that diplomacy is the best way to achieve this outcome.
Words will not stop them, Mr. President. Diplomacy will not stop them. The only way to stop them is to put a credible military threat on the table.
All right, folks, joining us now for reaction and discussion is China expert and author of The Great Coming Collapse of China, is Gordon Chang. Welcome to you, sir. We're trying to make a connection, too, with Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer as well. As soon as we get him, we'll bring him on. In the meantime, Mr. Chang, you know, like Obama, Biden wants to make sure the #1 state sponsor of terror is flush with American taxpayers' cash. And like Obama, he wants to greenlight as a nuclear power the nation state of Iran, as the JCPOA ensures. Israel sees this naturally as a threat, and because the world knows Biden isn't really in charge, both friend and foe alike are able to openly oppose him. Is that fair analysis on my part?
Certainly it's fair, Chris. Really, it's inexplicable that we would be thinking of even talking with Iran at this stage. We have Russia threatening to bring down the international order in Ukraine. We have the Chinese threatening India, Japan, and the Philippines as we speak. We've got a lot of other things to do. Even if it were a good idea, and it certainly isn't, we shouldn't be talking about this now. And certainly in my book, supporting a militant regime in Tehran, that is absolutely wrong. The Israeli prime minister is absolutely correct. You need to threaten the use of force to stop Iran from building the world's most destructive weapons.
Now, I want to get to the press conference that we were all just, air quotes, treated to from Joe Biden. I'll get to that in a second, but let me set it up with this. Mr. Biden landing in Saudi Arabia earlier today, he gave a fist bump, I should say, to the Crown Prince. This after he spent his entire campaign slamming them as a pariah state. But now the gas prices are soaring. He's calling Saudi Arabia a strategic partner as he is begging for oil. I'm sure China is watching all of this. What do you think their assessment is, Gordon?
Well, China doesn't like Biden's visit to Saudi Arabia because while we had Biden criticizing the Saudis, China was very busy itself establishing relations with the Saudi Arabian kingdom. And they were very successful in stitching up deals. And as we were talking about Khashoggi, the Chinese were buying oil and establishing military deals. So this has been a problem. This trip for Biden should have been unnecessary. He should never have put himself in a position where he had to go hat in hand to Riyadh.
It's true, because America should have been producing oil here at home. Let me deal with some of the things that Biden was talking about in his press conference. He said that the United States is going to partner with Saudi Arabia on a green energy agenda. He's over there on bended knee begging for more oil as he's claiming in front of the cameras for all of his left-wing crazy environmentalist wackos back here in the United States, saying that, oh, yes, we're partnering with Saudi Arabia, a big oil producer, on green energy. Does any of that pass the smell test?
No, it's all ridiculous. First of all, we have cleaner energy than the Saudis do. So why don't we drill for it? We have liquid natural gas. Second thing, even if Saudi crude were cleaner than our energy, you spew all this carbon in the air to get it from Saudi Arabia to the United States. And then, of course, there's the strategic issue. Why should we make ourselves dependent on a volatile region in the world when we have all the energy at home? President Trump, in his first years in office, decided that the way to American national security was to create energy security. Then we could not only use energy as for ourselves, but we could also use it as a tool as we sold it to others. This was great policy on the part of Trump. Biden felt he couldn't abide by it. And clearly what we now have is the worst of all policies, and those are Biden's.
All right, last couple of questions here. Biden also said in his press conference he was going to be partnering with Saudi Arabia for 6G technology. Now, you know China better than anybody out there, Gordon. The idea that a partnership with Saudi Arabia is going to help us win a technology race with communist China, do you also find that equally laughable?
Yeah, 6G right now is over the horizon, and I don't mind having relationships and technical cooperation agreements with countries. But the point right now is we need to focus on 5G because China is wiring up the world with Huawei technologies, 5G. And the Biden administration has stopped Trump's efforts to make sure that countries use clean technology, not China's.
And a real quick reaction here. You heard me talk about the story in North Dakota of how farmland is being sold to communist China in the midst of a food security crisis and also adjacent to an Air Force base. In your opinion, Mr. Chang, should communist China be able to purchase any land anywhere in the United States?
Absolutely not. And also, we should do two things. Chinese parties have been committing criminal acts on farmland that they bought. For instance, these illegal marijuana farms in Oklahoma. We should confiscate that land. No compensation. For other farmland that the Chinese have bought, we should expropriate it with compensation. But we should not have China in our food chain, certainly not on our ranches, not on our farmland, not in food processing plants, nowhere. We need to secure that, and we cannot have an enemy with such a foothold in our country.
Gordon Chang, very well said. And of course, that's common sense, something that's sorely lacking in the current administration. Sir, thank you very much for your time.